Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss the most simplistic software program that we can use to record data, read the measurements as we have seen in that Arduino setup that we put here, a board, an LED, and we have the Arduino Uno board there, and assuming that we already installed loaded on the board the Python, and assuming that we do already have all the files that we are using it in here, like libraries like Python, Arduino, time and NumPy. So that are already loaded. If you did not do it, you can either use command if you come here and on the search bar and use command prompt, and in another video I explain how to do it, or as you did it in previous video shown, you can do straight from here. So the goal here that we have is to just read two sets of measurements. That's how I named this code. Measure one set of values, which means there will be two measurements, on and off. We turn the LED on and we measure it in the midpoint. I think I have it in the now I have it at the beginning, so I was supposed to get very close to 5 volts, if not 5 volts right now, that I'm sending for the digital pin. I think let me see, 13, that I set it in here, and I'll read it, measure it with the analog pin input, which I set it as input. So most of us, when we are having when we're trying to code first time in any language, I have seen students are starting to have to be nervous, because it's hard to understand how we do this. So this is an outline of what we call it pseudocode, where you are planning what to do in that code, in that project. So we try to import the libraries that we need. We want to connect to the board, talk with it via Python, and we do serial communication with Firmata. And then we turn the LED on, get the first voltage measurement, and then turn it off and see if we get a 0. We are supposed to get to 0. So after that, and we print all of this. So that's exactly what we do. And I put the file here, and I also put it on this whole code there on our web page, so you can copy and paste on your machine and so on, so we can work it. So we can see that we import the libraries. Then in my case, as I have seen on my laptop here, it's a COM board. That's where I am assigning for COM3 the Arduino board. And then I have to set an iterator to the board that I am asking the board, give me the values, or restart, or set it in such a way that it allows to read measurements. And in order for this to communicate all of this, I basically put a sleep 1 second. Probably might be too much, but it's okay to have it there. Then as we see, we go to step number 3. We said we turn the LED on. So for this, we assign the LED pin 13, digital pin 13, and we write a digital 1, a byte of 1, which is, we send a voltage, which means 5 volts for the Arduino board. Then we are measuring with analog pin 0, which we assign it as an input, as you can see there, and give it time to collect that measurements communication. In this case, by trial and error, I figured it out, is 50 milliseconds. If you don't have enough time in here, you will get an error right here, or on this line 45, when we are converting this absolute value between 0 and 1 toward 5 volts in voltage. So that's what 1 corresponds with 5 volts. So basically, that's what we do. We have to set this value if you get an error, a little bit more, like 100 milliseconds or so. But it appears that for the laptop I'm using, it works pretty good with 50 milliseconds. And then I get that measurement. Again, this measurement is in absolute value. They are basically calibrated between 0 and 1, which is not true. I have 5 volts there for 1 and 0 volts for 0. So I have to scale it up to 5 volts. And then we print it in the IDE shell, and then we turn the LED off. which means we write a 0 to the digital pin, and then we turn that we call it, as we see, we call that digital pin as LED, and then we take another set of measurements and we print that value. So now we can see that if we run this, if we go this and run the module that we just wrote, and it will, as we can see, it started to communicate with the board. And I'm waiting for the first value and second value, so you can see that I get almost close to 5 volts the reading, and for when I turn the LED off, that's my second value. So I hope this worked for you too, and I'll catch you on the next video, that is when we try to make it continuous reading, not only one set of measurements. Thank you.